Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Nothing Phone 1 versus the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. Why this comparison? These are completely two different categories of devices. One is a budget phone, the other is a foldable phone. Ideally, it should have been budget versus budget or foldable versus foldable. Why this? This is basically because a thought came into my mind when I was thinking, I have money saved up. Now I could basically either buy a flagship phone or a budget phone. And which would be the best thing to do? And then I was trying to weigh all the pros and cons. I have this much money saved. I could basically buy a flagship, but I could spend a portion of that, get a budget one, and then the leftover amount of money, I could basically do anything I wanted to, maybe get a case, then still some money would be left over, invest it, buy something else, buy another tech, anything. And I was like, maybe I'll just get the budget phone. And I did end up getting the budget phone because then I had some money saved up. I could potentially buy another tech and then make a review video. So with the money of one, I could have two. And I was like, maybe some other people might have the same thought. Maybe not all, but there could be some. They might have saved up, I don't know, $1,000 or $2,000. And then they are now deciding, should I buy a budget phone or should I buy a flagship phone? So for those people, maybe this might help. If you are someone who is looking to make online content, then I would 100% recommend go with the budget phone, because the budget phone, the Nothing Phone 1, maybe $300, $400, or even $500. That means if you have $2,000 saved up, you will be left over with at least $1,500. That can be used to purchase other tech devices that you might be able to review, post the content on social media platforms, even YouTube. But this only applies if you are going to make some content out of it and you want to get more content with more different devices. So for that, spending on a budget product might make more sense. But if you genuinely want a new device because it's going to be an upgrade on your current device, and that's all there is that you're looking for, then you might do good with the foldable phone, the Z Fold 4. But again, you might not make the most use out of the foldable phone, because I myself have used this and daily driven this for the longest time as well when I was like reviewing, but I was mostly on the front screen. I rarely opened the foldable screen because I never take public transport. So train or buses, I don't get the time to open the bigger display to enjoy the content because I walk to and from my work, and I'm always on the front display responding to text or using social media. Obviously, when I do get the time to open the foldable device and enjoy the biggest screen, I am immersed in it. Love watching content inside of it. Love using social media inside of it. A couple of the apps are not well optimized for the full screen when it's unfolded, like Instagram, for example, but it is a good experience. And the screen, the battery life is amazing. You do get a full day's worth of battery with this, so that is not a problem. You will not have battery issues. At least in my case, I haven't had it. If you do already have the Z Fold 4, and if you have battery issues, then that might be related to anything. Maybe it's a faulty battery or something, but obviously Samsung can have a look and assess the device for you. But in my case, battery's not been an issue. Screen is very smooth, can go up to 120 Hertz refresh rate, but the same thing applies to the Nothing Phone 1. Screen is good for the price point. It goes up to 120 Hertz. Every time I've actually, tried to watch Netflix or YouTube, I've enjoyed it. There's no discoloration happening here, and I do enjoy my time with this phone. In my use of the Nothing Phone 1, I've never seen this phone lag. I've never had any issues. But when I'm comparing the Nothing Phone 1 with the Samsung Z Fold 4 side by side, I do feel that the Nothing Phone 1 actually lags, but only when I'm comparing these two side by side. And yes, it is because obviously the Z Fold 4 is very expensive than the Nothing Phone 1. And the reason it is expensive is because they've used pretty much almost everything top of the line. When we come to the camera, the Nothing Phone 1 does take decent photos, but it depends on the lighting condition you're in. If it's outside, it's bright and sunny, or even if it's gloomy but it's the daytime, you'll still be able to get decent photos out of the Nothing Phone 1. In the case of the Samsung Z Fold 4, if you can take decent photos out of this, you will definitely be able to get more decent photos out of this. Where the Samsung Z Fold 4 shines is low light capability. This will most likely get you much better results under low light compared to the Nothing Phone 1. But that doesn't mean that the Nothing Phone 1 camera doesn't perform. It does. Not everyone is trying to take photos in the nighttime It's just if your phone can take good photos during the nighttime or low light, then that is a plus. But not having that would not be a massive deal breaker. Performance-wise, the Samsung would be performing much better. It can handle a lot more multitasking. It can handle a lot of the things that you throw at it, but it is because of the components and everything used inside of this is top of the line. Nothing, being a budget phone, they had to cut costs. They've cut costs on camera, the GPU, the CPU, the everything that's being used here. But in saying that, for the budget phone, this actually performs a lot better than I had initially expected. So what should one do if they're actually deciding between the Nothing Phone 1 and the Z Fold 4? Again, if you want to create content, then go with the Nothing Phone 1 because you will only spend $300 to $500 depending on the configuration. You might also be able to add case in that same price point, and then you are left with $1,500 if you've managed to save up to $2,000. Then you can buy more tech to make content. But if you are a user who's legitimately looking for an upgrade, I would say if you've actually saved up to buy the Fold 4, go with the Fold 4. It's gonna last you long. You might not always be able to make the use of the bigger display, but having that display there, you get to use it when you want to, and the immersiveness is there. It's pretty amazing. Do trust me when I say this, the crease that is inside here, it's not that bad. It will fade off. Even in the video right here, you might not be able to see it. I might have to angle it to be able to make you guys see it, but it fades away quite instantly. When I had this, I was wondering, would I be worried about the crease? Am I gonna be annoyed by it? And turns out, as soon as I started to use the phone on day one, that faded away. Same thing happened with the iPhone notches. Yes, when you first see it, it looks weird, but then it fades away. So depending on that, if you're the one who wants to upgrade and making content is not really your thing, then yeah, by all means, go with the Samsung Z Fold 4. It's a good build, it's a good design, it's a good display, it's very performant, and it is worth it if you've saved enough money to be able to purchase this, because do know this is expensive and I would not recommend this phone to everyone because of it being very expensive. And Samsung is going to come with the Z Fold 5 soon. Feb 1st, they have their event. They might announce the Fold 5. So do keep that in mind as well. But if you need to buy now, and if you are someone who is really considering, should I buy the budget phone because of all the hypes around it, against it, because a lot of the YouTubers are making video around this and it's popping up on your YouTube feed or shorts, then you would not go wrong with this. But again, more performance, but for that performance, you'll pay the top dollar. So as I mentioned, between these two, if you go with the Nothing Phone 1, you're not going to go wrong. You will be saving a lot of money that you can basically spend on anything you want, invest it, whatever floats your boat, but you wouldn't go wrong. If you go with this, you wouldn't go wrong either. You'll get much more performance, a better camera, better experience, and a newer experience if you've never used full phone. That's there, but you have to assess. Use all of the saved up money to get this, or get a decent enough phone and save the money to spend on something else or invest. I'll leave it there for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, peace.